Hair's getting long again. I'm getting what I said before, the good old emo swoop. The hair coming down over the eyes. It's just because I kind of part my hair this way, but then it gets so heavy that it like weighs down and goes over my face. But, you know, could have been very stylish back in like 2007. I heard something about how like Justin Bieber's haircut, because it goes down over one eye, could actually cause lazy eye. Of course, the classic Justin Bieber haircut. He doesn't really have it anymore. I like the association of the swoop with being emo, with being overly emotional for a few reasons. Because for one thing, obviously when you're depressed, like emo bands and stuff made oh so fashionable. You know, you don't have a whole lot of time for your hygiene, so you're not tending to things like the length of your hair very well. And so, obviously, that makes sense. And then there's also the fact that it's like it covers your face a little bit, because when you're down in the dumps, you don't really want people to look at you, so you want to keep yourself covered. So that also makes sense. You're letting your hair kind of conceal you a little bit, but still show enough of you so that there's intrigue. You know, people can see a glimpse of you, but they can also tell that you're tortured at the same time. And I mean, also, you know, it covers you because you don't want to look at the world because it's so, you know, your world is shrouded in darkness. And then there's also the whole thing that it's because your hair weighs too much that swoop is happening. There's too much hair on your head. It's weighing you down. That could be symbolic of the problems one has. When they're not feeling particularly great, they probably got a lot of things going on that are really weighing on them, that they're not properly processing, that they want to feel lighter about. That they want to feel like... I mean, but do they want to feel that way? That's the other thing about the emo swoop, is that, you know, people do it intentionally as a look of sorts. And not always by a long shot, but sometimes, and I've been in this case, I want to wear my, call it depression, call it my mood, call it, you know, my big feels. I want to wear it sort of as a fashion statement sometimes. I want to show off to the world that I feel so much deeper than all the rest of them. I used to feel this great satisfaction in being the guy who wasn't enjoying life when other people were enjoying life. Of course, I didn't actually like it, but it's like, well, if I can't feel good, then I'm going to feel bad and make that better than everybody else. I'd look at people having fun, enjoying things that I didn't necessarily enjoy, and be like, well, because I don't enjoy it, that means I am better than you. I have the real taste in this world. You just have some stupid ideas of what taste is. You're not overthinking your every single move, and therefore you're not as good as me. There's definitely you can take it to a real narcissistic degree. Like, it's not narcissistic to feel depressed or to feel sad or anything, but there is a narcissistic way to respond to it all. I think that sometimes people take it a step further when they're criticizing people like that, like when they're criticizing emo people for saying, like, well, you don't even have those emotions in the first place. You're just doing it all for attention. No, I don't think that's exactly the case. I think that they feel those feelings very deeply, and they just kind of need some channel to dealing with them. And sometimes dealing with them can be, you know, very narcissistic. But I mean, I can never say that somebody truly is or is not feeling something or isn't going through something. It's very easy to look at people and say, you know, well, your life is easier than mine. Ironically, criticizing narcissism in people can often be extremely narcissistic. I mean, it's usually coming from very narcissistic people, which makes sense, because, I mean, all judgment is just hyper projection of, like, things that you don't like about yourself. You see that much more easily in other people because you're predisposed to be looking out for it. Some of the people that I know that would call people petty the most were also themselves the pettiest people. which is fine, but just be aware of it, right? I mean, I can definitely be petty. I can be emo, you know? I can love to bask in my own, I want to take my hair out of my face throughout the rest of this it is funny though, how, you know, your visual, like how you're visually coming across can really have a big effect on how you actually carry yourself and, you know, your true self. It can have a big uplifting effect to, you know, get a haircut. I remember at the beginning of this year, getting a haircut felt like the chance at a new thing. Getting myself groomed. And it's ironic that when you're feeling bad about yourself, you really don't want to take care of your hygiene at all. When that is something that would probably make you feel a little bit renewed. You got to give yourself room to sort of, you know, process your emotions and stuff. But I just never want to be doing things that are self-destructive to me. And I mean, to look in the mirror and like what I see. I mean, I like what I see most of the time these days. But to really give myself a gift of making myself look my best has been a really, really helpful tactic with dealing with some negative emotions.